Hey kawan, welcome to EDCReady. Today we are doing a full review of the Nitecore TUBE version 2.0. This is a mini USB rechargeable light, as you can see here. If I just pull this off, we have here a micro USB hole that you can plug your micro USB cable and charge it. And initially I bought this flashlight for my daughter to use. She kind of likes playing with my flashlight. So I'm getting her this just to protect my flashlights in case, well, I don't want those to get lost. And for this guy, I will be comparing it to this. This is my Nitecore TUBE 2017. Now it does have the little plastic sleeve that goes on top of it, but it is in my drawer and I've already started filming, so I'm not gonna stop recording just to get that. Firstly, let's get some measurements in. Okay, we'll do it in millimeters before we get into inches. This guy is coming in at about 20 millimeters wide. We have a thickness of about 8.5 millimeters, right around there. Let's try that again. There we go, 8.5 millimeters. We have a total length of 55.6 millimeters, switching it to inches. We have a thickness of 0.33 inches. We have a width of 0.8 inches, and then we have a total length of 2.2 inches. Okay. One final dimension I want to talk about is the weight dimension. Okay, so this guy is super light. This guy is coming in at, I don't know if you guys can see that, coming in at 9 grams. Now, I do not know how much that is in ounces because this doesn't change to ounces. Does it? Yeah, no, it doesn't. But you guys can do the conversion yourself. Safe to say this is extremely light. Okay, so what is this knife? This is the Nitecore TUBE version 2. It is an improved version of the version 1, of course. And the only improvement I think I can remember is that the high setting are a higher lumen. So let's go into the settings here. We have a single press to get into your 1 lumen mode. This carries you for about 58 hours. And then if you tap it again, it switches off. However, if you tap it on and within 3 seconds tap it again, like so, you get into the high 55 lumens, which gives you 1 hour and 15 minutes of illumination. It is IP65 rated, which means it is dust tight, and it can survive jets of water or very slow jets of water for a limited amount of time. Any other information, it does have a lockout mode. Okay, so if you tap it here and you gotta wait for it to go out of the high setting, as in you don't tap it immediately, then it'll just go into a high setting. Just wait for a little bit, and then you hold this down for 3 seconds and it will flash. There we go, and now it's in lockout mode. And now no matter what you can do, and no matter what you do, it's not going to tap on by accident. And this is especially great for a keychain knife, a keychain flashlight, especially if it stays in your pocket all the time. You don't want it to accidentally switch on. How you switch it on is that you just hold down the power button again for 3 seconds and it will go straight into high mode. There we go, 55 lumens. Okay, so let's go into the review. What do I like and what do I don't like about this little flashlight? This will be fairly quick because this is a very simple flashlight. The first thing I like about it is that it is USB rechargeable. I'm not actually a fan of disposable batteries. I feel like it's a bit of a waste and a bit of a hassle. And even in my paintball life, I tend to use gear that either don't use batteries or use easily available batteries. So I do like the fact that it's rechargeable. Going into that helm of rechargeability, I do like the running times on this guy. Now on 1 lumen, you can barely see the 1 lumen here. It does run for 58 hours, and that's great. 1 lumen is great for if you wake up in the middle of night and it's really dark and you just want some basic illumination without like hurting your eyes too much. 1 lumen is great. It does have a 55 lumens, which goes for 1 hour and 15 minutes, which is good. If you're looking through your garage or something, if I'm going through the kitchen and I need to grab something, 55 lumens is great. But they have a setting that I really like. It is I think they call it an infinite mode, infinitely variable brightness. So what you do is after you switch it on, you just immediately hold it down, and then it kind of cycles through that 1 lumen to 55 lumens. It'll get brighter, and then come back down to 1 lumen. So you can kind of pick the level of illumination that you want, which is really great because in my regular everyday carry flashlight, if I switch it on, there you go, we're now in 1 lumen mode, and then it goes to 35 lumens, and then 150, and then if you hold it down, it gets into the turbo mode. So I am kind of used to having this 35 lumen brightness that mostly when I'm going around the house in the middle of the night, 35 lumens is enough for me. So it's nice that I can vary this back to a more comfortable 25 to 30 lumens, which is something that I'm more used to. Okay, next up, another thing I like about it is that it is impact rated to 1 meter, so I'm not really worried about dropping this off of my desk or out of my pocket. It is IP65 rated, so I don't have to worry about walking in the rain with this guy. It's gonna be fine. It is splash proof. It is dust proof, so I don't need to worry about lint getting into it. As long as you keep this guy close, keep that in mind. It has a max intensity of 156 cadence, so you do get quite a wide spread of the beam here. It's not spotty, and most of the time for my life, a spotty light is not really that useful to me. A max distance of 25 meters, so I can easily see from one end of my apartment to the other. And then, is there anything else that I'm missing here? Oh yeah, last but not least, one thing, this is not so much what I like, but it's what my daughter likes. It comes in pink. In fact, it comes in a lot of colors. I do not have the list of the total amount of colors, but you have a lot of them. You have like blue, black, I think white and green and a whole bunch of other colors. I picked for the pink one because my daughter likes it, so that's really nice. Now let's go for some oh, by the way, one last thing, I like the clicking factor. This has nice clickitude. It is nice and clicky, and I just really like that. Alright, so let's go into a couple of things I don't like, which is not very many. Number one is this kind of plastic material. It keeps it very light, so I can't really complain too much, but it does feel very plasticky. It does have a bit of a echo, like emptiness feel. It's not really like, this is a different kind of plastic. This plastic kind of feels a little bit more solid, but here you can kind of hear that it just sounds quite hollow. But you know, to trade that off with the lightness, I'm okay with that, and of course the price, I'm okay with that. It is a little bit see-through. Okay, so that's kind of a personal thing, whether you like that look or not. I'm kind of impartial to it, but do keep that in mind. Next thing is that the what do you call this? The little lanyard hole or the key ring here is a little bit like sharp. Like if so I don't carry it in my pocket with a key ring, so that is kind of nice. But if you just want to go into your pocket, sometimes you can kind of hit the top here, and it kind of gets a little bit uncomfortable. But you know what? That's just me really nitpicking, because substantially this is a great little mini everyday carry light. Now, one thing I do need to say that this is not designed for good amounts of illumination. Although it is relatively bright for its size, although it does have a long enough run period in the 1 lumen, it is not as great as something like this guy when you need to, I don't know, go to your garage and look through your car or something like that. It is not meant for like long-term illumination. In fact, this guy is even pushing it for long-term, or just underperforming for long-term illumination. Luckily, in my everyday life, I don't really spend a lot of time in the dark, but this is not going to be a flashlight you want on you when you are, I don't know, strolling through the park at night. You're not gonna find this very useful. What it is useful for is if you just want to have a light that is always on you, and then in those moments where you need a light, you can just whip this guy out. It is very light to carry, so I can just carry it in my coin pocket, or I can just carry it in my little cloth sheath that I carry around all my other everyday carry gear. Okay, the only thing I can really complain about it, okay, the plastic feel is understandable. This thing, I'm really nitpicking. It's not really that big of a deal, especially if you have a keychain on it. Oh, and then I also forgot, because it's a triangle here, it can't tail stand, which I really like flashlights that can tail stand, because sometimes I just need to beam it up to the sky, and then I can do my work, but this will not tail stand. The only thing I can really complain about it is that the color render is actually a little bluish. It's kind of fine here because the camera auto color correct is kind of helping it out, but it does come out really bluish, and it kind of hurts the eyes a little bit because of how blue, how like bright white blue it is compared to the TUBE 2017, which has a much better color render. Okay, there we go, which has a much better color render. And I really much like this color pattern a little bit more, or this color temperature a little bit more than this guy. So in conclusion, what do I feel about this flashlight? Really great flashlight for just having it on you as like a backup to anything. At the end of the day, even these kind of flashlights will be better than your cell phone flashlight pretty much for the only reason that it is a lot more comfortable to use, and you don't need to worry about draining your phone battery when you're using the light, because using the light on your phone really drains your phone battery. So if you're in an emergency situation, which, you know, if you're using this, it might be an emergency situation, you can keep the charge of your phone in case you need to make a call. But yeah, but it doesn't tail stand. It's more of an emergency light rather than a I need to go out walking or running or whatever in the middle, or work whatever in the middle of the night kind of light. And yeah, just be sure to keep this out of water, and this flashlight will serve you well. Okay guys, okay, the whole sharp thing here, I mean, I don't know why I said that. It's really nothing, you know, it just can't tail stand. Ignore what I said about the sharp triangle here. Okay guys, thanks so much for the review, and as always, stay ready.